I love that intro. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Business Over Breakfast. My name is Ben Barber. This is
Lori Chitari here.
wonderful Lori Jatari. Hey, Lori, how are you?
Good. How are you? Wonderful Ben Barber.
I am a solid C plus today. I don't know.
Ah,
I'm
well,
good.
I feel good that I'm here with you. I have to say I'm a little sick about the Supreme Court right now, but
Oh yeah, that's whew. um
yeah, I don't want to divert, but
no.
it's pretty disgusting for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I am with you on on all of that right now. Uh other than all of the very sad national news, how are you doing this week?
I am doing well this week. I am working on my book and I am making some really good progress with a strict writing schedule. I'm talking to businesses. Yeah, so far so good. I don't love the light changing. The world is changing. All I can say is vote, 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 vote. That's all I can say.
Yes,
That will be the most positive thing we can all do.
I couldn't agree more with that.
So let's
Um,
let's do like even C pluses.
yeah. We're solid C pluses today.
Okay.
Um, our guest today, I'm very excited about, was the original co-host of this show with us, but he's had a rough couple months and then a good couple months as well, and I can't wait to talk to him. Would you like to introduce our guest? You've known him longer, technically.
I've known him maybe a few weeks longer. Well, I would say it's kind of amazing the goodness that comes from this really crazy time of pandemic because our guest Justin, and it's funny you guys joke about my name, but now I'm gonna mess up his name. Gontarek is what I'm gonna say. Gontarek. Anyway, Justin.
I think the first one was right.
Gontarek. Okay, so we've known Justin since March, and we have been mainly the three of us and Chris Parisi and Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee have been joined at the hips trying to help small businesses and create offers around small businesses while also owning our own small businesses. So we're bringing Justin on today. And we want to I really want to talk about his new small business. He's kind of been on this roller coaster of entrepreneurship since March, and we know that it's been a lot of work for everybody. So this is such a great example of how businesses shifted and changed and moved quickly. So let's just bring Justin on. And I told him he's on the hot seat today. So hey there, man.
Good morning.
Good
And
morning.
you hit the nail on the head. Of the first thing that I wanted to say is we all need to get our asses out there and vote. We can't make any changes. We can't have businesses. We can't do anything. We don't have a voice unless we get out there and vote. And it's the easiest it's ever been to vote. You can go anytime you want now. You can drop a mail ballot.
Right.
There's no excuses anymore. Everybody get out there and vote, and that's the only real way to make a change.
Yeah, my plan is to go tomorrow to City Hall and vote. And I'm hoping I won't be in a 3-4 hour line, but I'm going to do it.
I got my mail-in ballot yesterday, and I'm gonna drop it off at the location at the drop box at the town hall today. So that is my plan. Honestly, so this is something that, to go back to national news for a second, because while the Supreme Court decision was what it was, I think that the truly horrible thing, another truly horrible thing that has happened yesterday is the adjournment of the Senate until the 9th of November, guaranteeing no more coronavirus relief until at least a week after the election.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is so as you guys being the people that started the RI Small Business Coalition along with Chris in the Lieutenant Governor's office, how crazy and insulting is that to literally be playing politics with everyone's livelihood, right? Like the pandemic is literally spiking worse than it did in March at the moment, and some industries are just not going to come back for years at this point, and we can't get a stimulus and relief bill passed that's been sitting there since June. That's insane.
I know. Well, and I think it shows that their focus as supposed representatives of the people in their states has shifted completely to a complete political agenda for a party of specific people, and really just not attending at all to the people that they are hired to serve. I mean, we pay these guys, and that just sounds like silly to even say at this time, like, we pay them, they should be working for us. But honestly, it's such a slap in the face to everybody, to the hundreds of thousands of people who've lost loved ones since March. It's a slap in the face to every small bit. It's almost like, you know what? We don't really care about you. You're out there, like, good luck. We're going to do our agenda over here, completely separate from what you're attending to in your day. I mean, it just makes my blood boil. Well, and for us, the three of us sit here and we're like, all we've been doing since March is trying to put out information and help other businesses, and while we're also trying to lasso our own business into some semblance of normalcy so that we can have normal days. I mean, the stress is incredible.
Yes.
So, Justin, welcome to the show this morning. Our world is changing like never before. I really, one of the things I've been kind of like poking at you to get on the show, because I think that initially, when we met, it was you were working at another company, you owned another company with a partner, and you had created a Gift It Forward program, and Visual Thrive had created the Shop Local Rhode Island website. So we had these two websites that were not competing with each other. They were offering all sorts of services, and we decided to integrate those two websites and share all the information. So that said, I feel like, okay, we were doing that on top of running our businesses, on top of moving households, and now you're moving your business. So I want to go back a few months to when your graphic business, your other graphic business, initially started to shift into the manufacturing of like supplies that other businesses needed on top of creating the gift card program. So
yeah.
So we PTSD, but I just want to like kind of show your roller coaster of.
I think a roller coaster, it's definitely the word to use, maybe even an understatement, at times. But yeah, back at the beginning of COVID, at the time, my business partner and I, we were pretty much laying off the staff. We didn't really have a lot going on. Our bigger contracts were pulling the plug, and we had chose at the time to work with more corporate environments than we did with a lot of small businesses. And we always had local work, but we kept a more national presence at the time. And we, kind of sat there and said, well, what are we going to do now? Like, we really don't have much work. There's not much going on. What do we do? And, someone had sent me a message that said, hey, could you make these? I know you're pretty good at this stuff. And it was, our first face shield. And they were pretty awful. The first one I did, it was like this giant flat piece. It didn't look good at all, but resembled what everybody's wearing today. You know, I had Googled it, I'm sure, just like anybody else did, and we looked at some pictures, and we drew some shapes out in Illustrator, and kept running them through our vinyl plotters, and and trying different shapes to see what worked. And my business partner at the time, he was really good with like a small engineering background type stuff with that stuff, and we were able to put our heads together and collaborate from design to production, idea on doing that. And I think we did about, I want to say, close to like 10,000 face shields we made. Wow. Ours were made out of like a PETG plastic, which is a much thicker plastic than you see, like the ones that have like the blue bands that you see at all the testing sites. Those are just basically throwaways. Ours were PETG reusable, so they were much more expensive than the $5 and $10 ones that you can go snag now. But you could dishwash ours. That was the difference. You could put ours in a self-contained dishwasher. They could be sanitized because they were this FDA PETG plastic. So we did that. It brought our team together. It brought everybody back. A lot of the guys all volunteered to come in. We gave thousands of those shields away. We were able to sell a bunch of those to some nursing homes that kept us afloat. I still to this day still have a chain of nursing homes that are probably my biggest customer. And I sent it out to them, and they ordered it, and it kept us plowing through March, April, right up until almost May. And then
how many did you ultimately manufacture?
I think around the end we probably did. I mean, we did 800 sheets, and we probably did close to 10,000 masks all said and done. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but I would say that's like a solid number to do. And then in the course of that, because we had all this plexi, as we donated, a few thousand of these to a lot of local businesses. And unfortunately, we did run out. We had some business at the beginning, getting like 5 and 6 and 10. And, we did a very poor job ourselves for organizing, who got what and how we distributed it. But, that's the hiccup of COVID. That's just how it rolls. And, ultimately some places didn't get some, and, we felt terrible. In fact, I just spent some money the other day to get a bar all set up. I went and donated.
Oh, right.
I did an entire bar. Gave them plexi and dividers and all kinds of stuff the other day, because I still felt bad that it was something that was that didn't get done for them. And then we were able to jump on this stuff and do some of the stuff with the small businesses, and
I think that
it became a good time.
One of the things that pops up is I don't know if you guys know the book, The 4 Agreements.
Yep. Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a great book, and it's such like heartfelt, simple rules. I probably have it like right here. And one of the rules is do your best. Always do your best. And I think that one of the things it says, your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to when you are sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best. And I think when you say, it was kind of like we didn't have a plan, that the notion is, and it for so many of us, is that we are just trying to do our best. And maybe that's the angst that we feel around what we're watching happen, because we're watching hundreds of senators that are supposed to represent us not really doing their best, just really like focusing on some kind of agenda. So I don't want to shift it, but as you're saying that, I'm like, this is what we do. We are stepping up to do our best in our own world in the way that we can. It's a huge step forward. So then there was a disaster. So tell us about that. Let's see. You're on the roller coaster. You got all the way to the top. And what happened?
Yeah. So basically, we had taken the shop back over. We were out of the COVID mask stuff. We, had given away all the plexi, and we wanted to get back to normal business. We were just trying to catch up on maybe some local jobs that we had before COVID. once COVID hit for us, it was like, a disaster in itself, no pun intended. It was just, jobs got pushed off. You might have ordered a week before the shutdowns, and, there were just stuff everywhere. And then when we switched over to mask making, we kind of just jumbled all that stuff, pushed it aside, and we were just trying to filter through and go back through.
Hang on. I just have to ask you a quick question just for our audience. What was your business? So we kind of immediately jumped into, oh, you changed your business, but just give us a quick brief, like what was your business initially?
Yeah, so I was the co-owner of Oceanside Graphics. So we were a branding, marketing firm, I guess you could call it, for, the general public standpoint. But we did a lot of big wall murals, vehicle wraps, signs, banners. But it was more on the larger scale. So we got our work through some third-party companies for like Chase, Bank of America, those type of corporate environments. So we were doing brand environments, going to, office buildings and, creating, their local environment into there. So, I think we did like a 20,000 square foot office building that had, a mural on every window, some type of lettering on every wall. So we did a lot more giant brand projects than we did, smaller level, getting to the core type stuff. So now we divide back. So yeah, as we really started to shift the business back to, okay, well, our customers are calling again. They want some updates. They're going to get ready to open. They're going to do A, B, and C. How do we get back to doing that? In the process of all that, we kind of sitting there one day and said, geez, what's that smell? And looked around and we had a little fire. So basically, they're unsure of what might have caused it. But, we had a small fire that damaged some of the stuff in the shop. And, just as we were getting to level out and, get back to normalcy, we took that slip right down. And my partner and I at the time, we really didn't, say much to many people. I think, you guys did because we're on a small tech team together. We kind of just kept it quiet because we didn't want like the outpouring, support of the community for, we had been the center of the core in helping so many people that, we didn't want, I guess like the pity, I guess you would call it, or we just didn't want to be that, we didn't want to be that charity that, people came out and helped us. So we kind of, sat back, and it really gave us a chance, which for a good thing, to evaluate, what each of us wanted out of the business. We had been working together for, quite a few years. And when we started our businesses, my business partner, he had a business for about 10 years. I had been doing it for about 10 years. Part of that was, part-time. I was doing it, nights and weekends and stuff like that while holding a full-time job. Mm-hmm. But we had always rushed into everything. We started picking up the pace as we ramped up. It slingshotted us right out of the roller coaster. And, everything was go, go, go. And everything was a result of something. So, okay, we got a contract. Now we need a building. Okay, we got this contract. Now we got to do this. And it was always supposed to be, we partnered because we had two separate businesses that really should have combined. I did a lot of like apparel end of everything. I worked with a lot of small businesses, and that's the core that I wanted to keep. And a way for us to not compete with one another was to, bring it together. So when we had that chance to really sit down and evaluate, what each of us had brought to the table, to each other as a whole, even though we worked really well together, I don't think either one of us were happy with where we were as a business. Mm-hmm. And, it worked out, for the best at the end. We ultimately were able to say, okay, well, COVID put us in a really bad spot because of, loss of business, loss of revenue, loss of everything. This is kind of the nail in the coffin for us. Let's hang up the Oceanside tags and kind of go back to where we came from. And for me, it worked out really well. In the sense of I got to go back to where I was. Mm-hmm. Like any small business owner, we started a business and we had basically zero money.
What were you thinking as you like made that shift? Like in terms of like, what were the top 3 positive things that you thought you wanted in the next endeavor?
So the next endeavor is I really wanted to, one, get back to something that I truly enjoyed doing. I, for the first time, wanted to make a decision that didn't involve money and more, I guess, happiness than money. I wanted to choose a lifestyle over a profession. And the third thing for me was just being, I guess, happy, So I was really just, choosing like that certain lifestyle, over what most people would say success is. And when we think of the word success or successful businessman, we think of, okay, he's got a lot of money, he's wearing a suit, he's driving a nice car, and he's got a gorgeous house. When in reality, all those things, they don't matter. You can throw all those things away and at the end of the day still be very successful in what you do. So I wanted to do very similar to what we were doing. I just wanted to do it on a smaller scale. I wanted to, open more of a studio vibe. I know Ben and I had talked about some stuff. Eventually, I'd like to do some nonprofit stuff with teaching people, a craft, because we all too often, we're all going to college and we're all learning all these different things, but no one's teaching anyone trades anymore, really.
Yeah.
And the print industry is seeing it. Like you see a lot of these companies, and we were just talking, a little bit before the show. You have these older guys that still own a lot of these print studios because they've been in the industry for 20, 30 years. That's all they know. And nobody's taking over. There's not a lot of young guys, I say young, but I'm in my mid-30s, and there's just nobody in that generation or younger that's really kind of taking print shops over anymore. It's almost like a dying art, especially with the internet. Everyone's just a point and click, and boom, your banner shows up at your door 3 days later from Vistaprint. So that's where we're at now. So we started Simplicity Print Studio, my wife and I. And
that's great.
Yeah, so we're just running it on a smaller scale. My big market is the craft market. So I decided that a lot of crafters, they're going out to Michael's, Joann's, and Walmart. They're supporting all these big box chains because they want to get into like vinyl cutting. So what we've done is we've created this. You can come in here, purchase all your vinyls, heat transfer vinyls, blanks of apparel, blanks of stuff.
Tell me what that is, because when you say that, I don't know what that is. And I was thinking about wanting to understand like what types of products can you offer to small businesses?
So the business itself really has like is a two-part fold. There's our retail fold, which we were kind of just looking at on there, and then there's the business side of everything. There's our actual print studio. So from a small business standpoint, we're still doing typical stuff: signs, banners, vehicle lettering, printing flyers, with our offset presses. We're still doing screen printing, embroidering. So a lot of services from a branding standpoint that small businesses, or any business for that matter, would purchase. So like right now, what we're doing a lot of, it's like COVID's never going away for me. There's a lot of the nursing homes, they're ordering appreciation gifts for all the nurses. So we've done like some engraved tumblers with personalized names and different things like that. We've just like anything, reinvented ourselves to move on to that next level of ultimate happiness.
Yeah, I love that. We in the Shop Local Rhode Island Facebook page, I don't know if you saw it, there was an article posted about this push for getting everyone to not just say shop local, that's what you need to do, but to take like a percentage of your business spend and your personal spend and make sure that you're spending like 10 to 20% of that in local. So for someone like Simplicity Print Studio, this idea of appreciation gifts, I mean, it's a great opportunity right now to say, okay, Thanksgiving, holidays, people are coming together. Do you have on your website like different offers that businesses can come in and say, yeah, I need, I don't know, do you do coffee mugs? Like, yeah, I need 20 coffee mugs with our logos and thank you, or...
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have like, listed on the site, just, some random services of, embroidery, screen printing, personalization. But then there's the store aspect. So what's really different from simplicity to where I was 6 months ago was, I have an open studio showroom. So my printers are up in our showroom. Everything is a work retail all-in-one environment. So I could be, printing out a brand job at the same time that you walked in to buy, a mug that you wanted to personalize for your sister.
Great.
So you're able to look at, different aspects. And we were talking about, what small businesses and my customers. So a lot of my customers, ironically, that are these, crafters, are small businesses themselves. They're making a craft, they're making a product, and they're selling them at, flea markets, yard sales, craft fairs, bazaars. They're selling them online now because a lot of this stuff is, null and void because of COVID. So I'm able to connect with their businesses and see what they're working on, the products that they're doing. I'm able to supply them with a product that they're buying locally, as opposed to buying, online for a few dollars cheaper. Most of them want to support, the local movement. And these craft supply stores, from the standpoint of like the print world and, the vinyl crafting, it's not something that our area has really seen a lot about. It's really big down south, and, out west is really, from talking to the suppliers and stuff, that, there's one on like every corner. It's like your old, pharmacy type stuff.
There's I'm writing this down because I don't want to. There's a school. I don't know if you know it. I might have mentioned it to you. Fab Newport.
Yep.
And they are doing. That's a nonprofit, and they are doing some amazing work around creating maker studios and integrating for high school and young college students to learn this kind of crafting and trade and really do the learning around hands-on work, which I think is so hugely important now.
It is. It's definitely important. It's like everything. When I first sat down to develop what I wanted to do and how I was going to go about doing it, I really sat down and looked at, the AS220 modeling projects.
Mm-hmm.
AS220, if anyone doesn't know, go check out their website. They're an amazing organization. But it's exactly that. It's taking that maker world and bringing it to real life, giving that person a chance who can't afford a $10,000 screen printing press, or can't afford a $15,000 wide format printer, the ability to take a creation and bring it to life, at an affordable way to do it. Ultimately that's where we want, want to be.
And the ability, like you are doing, to make lifestyle decisions based on that. So you can say, this is something that I love to do, and I can create a business. So, when you talk about success, I mean, it can be both. It doesn't have to be either or. Great lifestyle and a successful business, and not one or the other. And I think that's one of the beauties of doing this kind of work.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and it's been a huge adjustment for me. I'm used to, as you guys know, I was, up early, 7 o'clock. I dropped my son off at daycare, and boom, I was hitting the road. I was in, Hartford, Boston, Philadelphia, wherever the contract took us, we were there. I was on the road for a couple of days, or 7 in the morning to 8 or 9 at night, and it's just, at some point, after this whole tragic event, I looked back and said, well, God, my son's almost 1 year old, and I haven't really put him to bed that much. What am I doing? Is this really successful? What is success? And, last night it hit me for like the first time. Someone was texting me, and I enjoy texting my customers, after hours. Like I by all means, I encourage all the people.
Oh, we know.
You're at home, and, you're working on something with your little crickets and, your stuff like that. And if you got a problem, I always tell them, just shoot me a text and I'll help you out. But, someone was texting me last night. It was like right around 7 o'clock. I had just got home from my first late night here because I was trying to fix something. And I put my phone down on the counter, and I looked at my wife and I said, you know what? It's 7 o'clock. I'll worry about this at 8 o'clock when I get in the office tomorrow morning. And it was like a pivotal moment for me to realize that I made a choice to put a phone down, where normally I would have been, stressed out till 10 o'clock over that, text chain and trying to figure out how do I do this, how do I do that, and it was nuts.
Yeah. It's so cool that you say that. One of the things that I'm writing about in my book is this idea that I call the sharp lesson. And it's not like sharp, like angry. It's sharp because you remember so vividly, like every little detail. Like you had your phone, and it's like that moment in time when all your thoughts and feelings and actions kind of came together so that you could be like, oh, I already went through all the intricacies of this. Now I can just put my phone down because I did all the work I needed to do to be here, to be where I am at that moment.
Yeah, it's just different. I encourage anyone that's out there, take it from me, for the last X amount of years, I've been on the go 24/7, always worrying about, the next dollar, the next contract, the next dollar. And now I'm just sitting back and, I've got my small little online store and, I just, not that I stopped caring, but I made the notion that, okay, well, I have a wife, we have 2 incomes, and if I can just make A, B, and C work, get the mortgage paid, pay for the utilities,
Right.
and pay for a little extra, well, what else do I really need? And yeah, is it fun to have tons of money and go out and spend it and buy things? But at the end of the day, am I teaching my children good values by doing that?
Yeah.
Am I teaching my son that it's,
Yeah.
what success is by working, every single night, and instead of showing them, well, I'm working that way because that's hard work, and hard work is success.
There's always, I know I keep jumping in, Ben. I'm so sorry.
No.
I was thinking that that quote by Maya Angelou where she says, people don't remember the things that you've done for them. They remember how you make them feel. And so that's that's a big decision. So before we wrap up today, I would say, what do you want to say to, like, where are you? How do people contact you? What do you want to say for the viewer that's listening to all this cool stuff that they could order? How do they get to you? What can they find there?
Yeah, so we're at 2260 West Shore Road in Warwick. We are in the nice little cool area just before Oakland Beach. We have our retail storefront, which has a lot of crafting products. So vinyls, heat presses, blank apparel, blank mugs and tumblers, things that you can use with your Cricut or your craft or any of that fun stuff. Like I said before, we still do traditional business stuff. So screen printing, embroidering, lettering, all that fun stuff. We're still doing all of that. We do have the website, as Ben just graciously put up. It's simplicityprintstudio.com. We are a licensed Sister, Starcraft, and Stalls brands dealer. We're the only ones in New England. From the small business standpoint, which is huge.
What is that mean? What's Starcraft?
So it's just a brand of vinyls. It's kind of like your Chevy and your Ford dealers. We're just a dealer of of certain products. That's basically like an industry standard. So we have those. Usually always all in stock. If we don't have them in stock, it's generally something you can get in a day or so. November 28th, which is Small Business Saturday, is going to be our official grand opening. So we are the LG is going to come down, and we're going to do a nice ribbon cutting, and we are hosting a small business craft fair. So I think I have about 20 vendors right now set up. We're going to put some socially distant tents out in the parking lot, and we offered all the spaces to the crafters for free. So normally, a lot of them pay $25 to $75 depending on what they're selling. So they'll have the ability to come here and sell and check out the place and do some stuff. And we're going to do some, like everybody's doing the wine and paint nights. We're going to do some classes, and instead of wine and paint nights, a lot of big things that people are making, like these little custom tumblers with glitters. So we're going to do one of those one night. So we're just changing our vibe, making it more fun.
That's cool.
Good vibes only. That's what we're looking for.
I'll volunteer to do a social media night presentation if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love to.
That sounds awesome.
Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
It's been fun.
I missed you, Justin.
I know. I might even jump back into Tuesday mode. I might. You might even see me a little later this afternoon, and that might be a shocker to everybody.
It would definitely be a shocker to everybody.
The three amigos kind of went down the tubes.
Well, like you said, it's just hard making that adjustment. We all had tons of time, and now
I know
business is back, and we're all kind of like scrambling. Okay, who's going to take this call? Who's doing that call? And
no,
COVID, man, it's COVID.
It's great. Well, cheers. Here's to lots of happiness and success for all of us.
I'm not cheersing with water. That's bad luck.
So go to West Shore.
All right, cheers.
Hold on, we gotta find this. This is my new favorite spot. It's across the street from my shop.
Keep it there.
Go check these guys out.
All right.
Make sure they're on shoplocalrhodeisland.com.
They should be. They were on our website. They should be there. We'll have to check. I'll text you in a few minutes.
I'm gonna say, guys, if you want to help with small business advocacy in the state of Rhode Island, join the coalition that these two wonderful human beings have worked so hard on, rismallbusiness.org. If you own a business in Rhode Island, you should be on shoplocalrhodeisland.com. It's a great, especially if you don't have a big web presence at the moment, this is a great way to get your name out there. Also, I'm just going to throw this up since we are kind of the three amigos right now. I'm just going to go out on this and check out visualthrive.com for everything Lori Jatari related.
Hey, we got to just give a shout out to the Facebook user that I can't see that's giving us a wonderful good morning and hey guys.
I know. I wonder if it's Chris.
Tell us who you are. Show up.
Yeah, we can't. So if you're in a group on Facebook and we're live in a group, we're live in Shop Local Rhode Island right now. Then we can't see who you are, but leave us your name if you want. Or I can, you know what? I could just go in and see who it is.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
We're here.
So yeah, Lori, I have one question before we go. Yeah. You're working on a book.
A book.
So
just give me one more.
Oh, it's Jen. It's Jennifer Ortiz. Hey, Jen.
Hey,
what
Jen. Up? Good morning.
So Lori, what you're working on a book? When are we gonna be able to see this thing birthed into the world?
Probably late January. It's
do I get a signed copy of this book? I feel like I need a personal copy.
Do. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll sit out on my sidewalk signing books all day.
All right.
Yes, late January. It's a book about making leaps and finding the courage to make leaps of faith.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for I assume this is also Jen. But who's to say?
We're glad you're here. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much.
Enjoy.
And all right, everyone.
This was awesome, Justin. I'll talk to you soon. Because I want to buy a bunch of stuff from you.
I do too. So, now that I know.
Yeah. Exactly.
See, this was my plan to guilt you into buying.
Time for shopping. No guilt involved, and we love it.
All right.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
Talk to you.